So, to recap, we came here on a flying ship that was also half fish, but when we came here we found out that there was a problem with the river, which means that we have to deal with the river rather than just flying straight to where we're going, which I'm gonna assume makes sense somehow.
I mean, to be fair,
Right.
we met Waka's cousin,
Let's get on
and
board.
he told us that he would take us there, but first we had to go with him to help fix the river.
Fair enough.
Think about what you're doing. How can you just ignore our village rules?
Like,
I
are
don't
you
have
gonna
time
stop
to mess
us?
around with those ancient superstitions. Sitting around doing nothing like you guys isn't going to change anything. I'll do what I have to do.
Like, are you gonna have the superstition police come down and arrest us?
What are you gonna do? Stand in my way? Maybe use force to stop me? Answer me, Rebelus.
Damn you, Kibari.
That's
Sorry,
quality
pal,
voice
we're
acting.
short on time.
I
I'll see
appreciate
you
that
around.
Gibari's response to being told, but you can't do that, is literally
Think
just,
the whole
fuck
world
you, what are you gonna do?
revolves around you?
Try and stop me?
Always doing your own thing, your own way. Why don't you ever think about the villagers and what's important to them? As long as you get what you want, nothing else matters. Is that it?
Ah, pragmatism in JRPGs.
Hey, calm down, Rebelus. I was never good at these debates.
Anyway, can we have a shout out to the two boats on the right there? They look pretty slick. Can we have one of those? No? No one's gonna comment on that?
No. No one will ever speak of those boats. Instead, we're going out on yet another fish boat thing.
Well, whatever. Anyway, pretty.
Yeah, like I said, Diadem has a lot of clouds.
And due to being pre-rendered, it can always be in one of these weird golden hour sunsets that always seem to last for ages in video games.
Flows around the entire world. This is one of its offshoots, hence the name Lesser Celestial River. Some say its waters come from the ocean, trapped somewhere in another dimension. I don't know if I buy that.
There seem to be a number of inconsistencies in common folk wisdom regarding the ocean. Like, I dunno.
I mean, to be fair, the ocean is just kind of gone, so it makes sense that there are an assortment of stories about what actually happened.
Yeah, that tracks. But still though, like if this whole thing is set on a bunch of islands that are floating, but we've got rivers that are coming from somewhere, possibly an ocean in another dimension according to one interpretation, I don't know, flows around the whole world, but that would imply that it's like a single river or like a single series of rivers that is somehow going around islands. Like, come on, give me something here. Like, I can't work with this.
Can you instead work with this fishman?
I mean, he's not talking nonsense, so maybe. But like, man, I wouldn't last like 2 minutes in an actual JRPG setting. I would just like die of confusion.
So yeah, these two are going to be our main enemies here. The fishmen have about 130 HP, and they are absolute motherfuckers. They do about 70 unblocked water damage, and they can put you to sleep, which is exactly as much fun as it sounds like.
Ah, sleep in JRPGs. Like, is it complete bullshit where like nothing wakes you up except being like physically smacked with something?
No. It causes you to skip your next turn.
Ah.
But yes, if you get attacked, you cannot defend.
Well, that could be worse, I guess.
Meanwhile, these frogs do less damage, but they have an 80% water resistance, and they can also poison you, and poison really sucks in this game.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that over the sound of Jabari screaming, and also the sound of me remembering Jabari screaming from 5 seconds ago. Like, is it just me? Does anyone else find that as horrifying? Well, okay.
Man, if only we could cross this gap that is slightly too large for us to jump.
Man, it's a shame we forgot to pack a card that's infused with the elemental essence of, like, a
I
dam.
have a bad feeling about this.
Anyway, so the other major feature of this area is that there are a number of points where you are just scripted to get stuck in a fight with 2 or 3 of these guys. And
Yeah, that's JRPGs.
yeah, and it really sucks because there is a couple points where you will almost certainly get forced through it multiple times. So
And this is like in addition to random fights that you might just wander into. So you can just like have a random fight and then a step later get into one of these.
yes.
Man.
Now these guys so far have mostly behaved, but like I said, there's to put this video in context, the video that we are commenting on is approximately 28 minutes long. The roll for this area is an hour 6.
Yeah. Video games.
Get ready for a beat. Destructive dragon uppercut.
Well, okay then.
Like, credit where it's due, Gibari's animations are really cool. They just absolutely suck in this area.
I can always respect anyone who fights with an oar. It's a good time. I don't know if they're going for the particular historical shout-out that usually happens when Japanese video games have somebody fighting with an oar, but I can respect it all the same. Anyway, I believe I was working up to a point when I got distracted by horrifying battle sounds. Right, yeah, sleep in JRPGs could be worse. Like, the Final Fantasy sleep is kind of... I don't think it's actually indefinite, I think it changes between games, but, like, it usually lasts until you get hit with something, but it has to be physical, so there's a bunch of enemies that, like, will put you to sleep and then only cast magic on you, so you might be straight fucked if you don't watch it. And then there's Fire Emblem sleep, which,
We don't talk about Fire Emblem sleep.
we just agree that Fire Emblem sleep never happened. They just stopped doing that after a couple games, because, yeah, I can definitely see how this might get annoying.
Oh, but just wait. We have a timing puzzle.
Oh no. Can you believe that Chrono Trigger happened, like, multiple decades ago? And yet we're still doing this? I mean, this also happened almost multiple decades ago, so that's not, like, a huge problem. Oh, come on! Really?
Yeah.
They respawn? They fucking respawn?
Yeah, so every time you fail that waterfall pass, you have to fight that guy again. And that guy might be 3 of those frogmen who can all put you to sleep, and they're all terrible.
Man, sometimes I think that I don't like video games. I just get that impression. But no, seriously, like, there was the better part of a decade passed between this game and Chrono Trigger, the game which showed everybody that random fights just kind of fucking suck. Like, they're bad. They're a bad idea. Nobody has ever liked them. They have at best been a very loose compromise that was necessary when we didn't have the sophistication to map and model this kind of stuff. But, like, no.
I mean, to be somewhat fair, Chrono Trigger's model was not really that much better. Like, there were still functionally random encounters. You just didn't know where the zones were to trigger them.
Yeah. It worked out, though, and they didn't cheat. That's the important thing. Having them respawn like this game does is cheating. Bad. It's a demerit.
No wonder the river's overflowing.
There's something moving in there.
Well, I guess we'd better catch that in a card or something. I don't know, I just have a feeling that's how we're going to solve a lot of problems in this game.
I don't think we're going to be catching this in a card. This looks more like a let's kill it kind of thing.
I'm just saying, like, there is a non-zero chance that by the time we're through with this, we will have God in a card. We will have the elemental essence of God on paper. It can happen. But fine, I guess let's just kill this thing.
I mean, I guess we technically did have the elemental essence of God in a card, but then the Empire showed up and then they sucker punched us and took it.
Yeah, you'd think we could have used it, you know, to stop them from doing exactly that. That seems like a pretty callous move. Anyway, sure, let's get on with it. What's this guy's deal besides the... Hang on, did he just...
Sword, fly swiftly as a gust of wind.
Never mind.
Style.
Did we just fly up and take a selfie with it? Yes, absolutely. How else are you going to take a picture of it?
That's an excellent point. There is no other way. Can't be done.
So yeah, the Thunderfish is water and light. So which is unfortunate because we have absolutely no dark armor, and we don't have the best selection of fire armor, so this guy can be a little painful to deal with.
I assume there's got to be some way that we can leverage the silly amount of water cards that Jabari has to some kind of a tactical, non-thoroughly suboptimal situation.
Is that all?
There really isn't, to be honest. My solution to this area was to mostly take out a lot of the water cards and give him more neutral and like attack cards like the knife and stuff like that.
Yeah, the neutral non-elemental approach is valid. Kind of often ends up happening in RPGs like this. They're reliable. They're straightforward. They're easy to understand.
So, one quick note on poison, since Jella is helpfully demonstrating it right now. Poison, unlike sleep, never recovers on its own. You can use a consumable item, which I bought a couple of before I came out here.
Not to be confused with a card containing the essence of a consumable item.
Or you can use I also bought a couple mineral water cards. Each of them have one in their deck somewhere, but it has a 2/3 chance of curing poison when it's used. So
2/3. So it's a percentage chance to cure poison. That's interesting.
like it's not like a medical situation or anything. It's just mineral water. It's not going to fix your poison.
Oh, it's just like drink plenty of water and get some sleep, And you'll be fine, you'll get over it. Probably. Sure, whatever. Well, I guess you kind of just ate that. Like, I don't know, it's difficult for me to get a sense of how difficult any of this is being.
Use this.
Because there's kind of a lot of stuff going on in this game, in case anyone hasn't noticed. Like, I guess what I'm unironically working up to here is, are you winning, son?
We're getting there. This guy is not particularly difficult, so...
I guess we have just come off of a difficulty spike boss, so all things are going to be in context. But really though, it's as much as I like the idea of water curing stuff, I don't like this percentage implementation. Get very nervous around that kind of stuff in games.
As we literally just saw, it didn't even work.
Yeah, that's literally why. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the Fire Emblem experience colouring my perspective, but I am viciously distrustful of basically everything percentage related in video games. Like, I will always go for the reliable stuff. Like, small, boring, uncomplicated, reliable, dependable, every time.
Here.
I mean, we will eventually get actual cures, but for now, this is what we have to work with.
It's kind of like the bizarre cousin of the elixir of the elixir problem.
I mean, to be fair, this is 2/3 is not a bad chance, all things considered. Like, the sleep equivalent is only 50.
Yeah, but like, I don't think I'm alone in considering a 1/3 chance of having wasted your time to be kind of unacceptable. Especially when you have to weigh that against, like, you know, just throwing out more damage and getting the fight over. Stuff that you can rely on.
I mean,
Keep going.
with poison, that's honestly the plan, because it's not worth... Like, you can see, I was taking 10 damage a turn.
It didn't seem like the most pressing problem.
I mean, other status ailments maybe, but poison is generally not too scary.
I love how much variety there is between JRPGs and like how much of a problem poison is.
That's a thunderfish. They were supposed to have died out ages ago. How did it get here?
The world is coming unraveled at this
I feel like the
time.
more operative question is how does it exist rather than how did it get here.
Is it because we broke that seal?
Well, you see,
That
Gabari,
explains it all.
you thought they had all died out, and now they actually have.
Hooray, extinction.
Unraveling? Broken seal? What are
I
you
don't
talking
know why, but I feel like
We have to go back.
I just have this sensation that driving creatures extinct is a good thing and that we should be doing it. But I don't know where I got this idea from.
Hey, hold on, you two.
Anyway, the game would very much like us to go back to town now, but
But there's collectibles. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't have.
no, if you do that, you will be missing several very important pickups if we head around the corner here.
Like, this entire era of JRPGs was like characterized by never ever under any circumstances return to town after clearing a dungeon. Never ever take the shortcut that's offered, because literally every single thing you do is gonna open up a bunch of missable stuff that you really want. Ugh. I'm so glad that era's over. I will be so glad when that era is over, but I guess we can't always have what we want. Those chests are still weird.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a brief detour into the next area. And it's extremely excellent music, which we will criminally not get to hear much of.
Hey, I can dig it. It's got kind of a Phoenix Wright second half of the Trial energy to it. I cannot explain why that was the very specific place that my brain went on hearing that, but I don't think I'm wrong.
When I heard this again for the first time and playing this in like 10 years, my immediate thought was Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that one. I like the fact that Kalos had to consult with his inner monologue to decide whether or not to save that boy. And let's be honest, he probably wouldn't have gone along with it if that boy wasn't obviously part of a side quest. Like, but what's the point? Why would we bother saving anyone? But they're for a side quest. Oh, fine.
I feel like it's more of a, but what am I getting out of this? Why am I having to save this child? Anyway.
Are these guys gonna fuck us up?
These guys are motherfuckers.
These guys are gonna fuck us up.
So these are technically the enemies from the next area. They have way more HP. It's like, I want to say it's around like 200 or so.
I mean, when you say technically, we are like actually in the next area. So like, what's even technical here? Like, what did we expect?
I guess that's not wrong. But yeah, so these are the enemies from the next area. They have about 100 more HP than the frogmen, and they have a 4-hit wind combo, which is extremely obnoxious, because again, we have no Chronos armor, and that really sucks. And their big thing is Poison Flame.
Poison Flame?
Yes, Poison Flame. Which does exactly what it sounds like.
I mean, yeah, it's a very straightforward, if slightly unusual concept. What's even the deal here? They just have like chemicals that they're burning at us. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Use this.
But hey, that means mineral water should be a hard counter, right? Can deal with both the poison and the flame.
I guess you're not wrong.
So anyway, I'm guessing this basically turns into a race to not die at this point.
Pretty much. Yeah, like, because remember that we are level 6, and we have not had a chance to level up at all since starting the last area.
Yeah, we're massively pushing our luck coming out here, which I guess is kind of the point, although it's kind of striking that the game lets us do this with absolutely no fanfare, but once you grant all of that, this is not really a very big what the fuck. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about this, like, obvious 2 layers to this and not being able to see what the fuck we're doing. That's a demerit. Like, what the fuck, game? What's are there... Is this like a convention or something? What the fuck is going on here?
I mean, technically, the area that we're part of is not, like, it's not accessible from the main part of the next area. Like, you have, like, the only way to get here is through the entrance we took. So, I mean, I guess the idea is more that you would go back to town, then you would go to this area and be like, oh, how do I get down here? And, you know, at which point you would be more realistically equipped to handle it.
Oh, I guess I see how that works, because I'm guessing it's this bit of this area that we can't get to, rather than like this area itself, and we're gonna come in via the clouds.
Yeah, we'll be on the upper level when we come through this area.
But still, like, the fact remains that we did just have like 2 related drowning boys down here for reasons. And that just seems kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I guess I just need to engage my JRPG brain more for this kind of stuff to make sense. Anyway, one more of these fucking things for the road?
Oh, you know it.
I'm onto your bullshit video game. I mean, I don't like it. It's still bullshit. But... well, this is not what I would have gone with for solving that one puzzle, but, you know, fuck it. Video games, why not?
I see that you've figured out what we're going to use this Thunderhead, this Thunderfish head for.
I mean, I kind of suspected some kind of complete bullshit thing along these lines the first time we got to this, like, very obviously, oh no, we can't get past this bit because of the water. I just didn't think it was going to be, like, a decapitated giant fish. I thought it was just going to be like a raft or something.
Whew! Man. Glad we brought that fish head down here. There's just no way we could have made it over there.
Like, I'm telling you, there are enormous untapped uses of these Magnus cards. So was that a card of a statue?
Yeah, that was Jella's Class 3 item. We also got Calluses in here, the Mana Stone.
Fair enough, I guess. You know, by the traditional JRPG definitions of fair enough, which I won't comment on.